All right, America. I don't know about you, but I'm done. I'm done with this stuff. I'm done with being separated. I'm done with being divided. I'm done with being an individual to the point that I cannot relate to my fellow Americans. I'm done with it. You should be too. Our political parties love to make us into smaller and smaller and smaller groups to keep separating us. First, as I recall, it was whites versus blacks. That was the division. Then it turned from whites versus blacks to whites versus blacks versus Hispanics. I will notice that most times Asians are not included in this equation, which is pretty cool. All right. Then, when that wasn't enough division, now we started freaking separating gays from straights, from blacks, from whites, from Hispanics. Now we have also started separating soldiers from gays and straights and blacks and whites and Hispanics. And it's going to keep going until we get so small and we so hate each other because of these perceived freaking injustices that we pull on each other. And they keep us separated like this so that we cannot, because this is my government. The United States, the way it's designed, is my government. Okay? It is your government too, as an American citizen. Every person that is an American citizen, this is your government. And your government is, look, I'm not supposed to cuss probably, but it's fucking you. Okay? It is screwing you over. Blacks have predominantly voted Democrat for 50 years. So I'm speaking in macro terms, obviously, but predominantly that's who they vote for. And then you look at the cities that are predominantly run by Democrats: Detroit, Chicago, all these freaking major metropolis that have been run by Democrats for 50 years, and they look like the Polish World War II ghetto. That's what they look like. And you got extreme cases of, 54.6 intentional murders in Detroit per 100,000 per capita. That's the biggest rate in. I think there's 4 countries in the world that beat Detroit on that freaking stat. That's a whole country. All right. You got Republicans or conservatives that are so worried. I don't know what they're worried about because they get kind of crazy. They're quick to freaking say, we're not going to deal with you anymore because you're an enemy. And then they will never freaking give a person a chance to not be an enemy anymore. You're going to run out of freaking friends if you keep going like that. And that's just stupid. Yet, that doesn't mean you forgive everybody automatically. And it doesn't mean that you forget about what they've done. Yes, you got to keep your eye out for that because they could be shoving that dagger in your back again. You just don't know. And that's the wonderful, beautiful part of politics is it's so freaking shady. Okay? But my point right now is that you, as an American, and I don't care about your ethnic background. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're a freaking hamster. Okay? This is our government. And we are letting them take it away from us because we're letting them separate us. We are letting them breed hate between the races. We are letting them breed hate between being straight and gay. We are letting them breed hate in every possible way that they can come up with so that we cannot join hands and be what America is supposed to be. God dang it, America. Our God-given right is a hell of a lot better than this infighting that we're doing. Our God-given right is to get off this freaking planet, and we're not going to do it without each other. Every one of us. We are destined for greatness if we freaking make it happen. But if we get lazy and we're worried about hurting each other's feelings and we can't say what we feel because we might offend somebody, well, fuck it. So what if you offend somebody? Maybe they need to be offended. Okay? And if you're offended too easy, then screw you. And the reason why I say that is because if you get so offended so easy, okay, here, we'll do this story. There was a guy when I was in ALC at Fort Rucker. We were sitting there, and you had every freaking ethnic background you could think of. You had females, you had whites, you had blacks, you had Hispanics, you had Asians in this class of about 25 people. And like soldiers do when we're bullshitting is we start dogging on each other. And let's see, I was a soulless ginger. Okay? Yeah, I got red hair. I was a soulless ginger. You got freaking Pepe, the freaking Hispanic sergeant first class. that would fucking trabajo for dinero, and we did all that shit, and we were just messing with each other. And there was a black guy, and we teased him too for being black, but that was just, the way it was. And it wasn't personal, because we all would have sucked up a bullet for anyone else in that classroom. We would have. The problem being is that the one black guy, who shall remain nameless because he has become a friend since, he called me one day at home because he started getting a little upset. It was a weekend. We weren't going to class on the weekends, and he said, Mac, he goes, they're always being racist against me. I said, really? Why do you say that? And he said, well, because they were teasing me for being black the other day, and so everything else they said since then is just being mean. And I had to point out to him that on the same day that we teased him for being black, he was giving me shit for being a ginger. I have no soul. Which, by the way, my counter argument was, I have lots of souls. They're just not mine. And the point that I tried to illustrate to him was this. If you believe that racism is pervasive in your life, your brain will automatically make the donkey bridges to make any common, normal statement, trace it back around and through the rat maze to make it a racist statement when it wasn't intended to be. And you separate yourself from the rest of society when you do that. We need to get over ourselves. We got to. We're not going to end up. We're going to go the way of the dinosaur if we don't get over ourselves. And it just pisses me off knowing that we have the potential to do so much more. We just have to dream, and we have to work together. Just something for y'all to think about. Maybe, hopefully, I can help people see both sides of the racial divide. There are two different stories. It's not just what Jesse Jackson says or that knucklehead Al Sharpton. Okay? There is other sides of this story that need to be considered. And then when we can come across and we can figure out our common goal, our common link, which is red, white, and blue with 50 stars on it, then we can step forward as a team. And I look forward to that day.